um, I just had to kind of like go in my room, shut the lights off, sit in the corner in the fetal position, and just like chill out under the covers. Nobody. Like my friends know, like if they can't reach me or they couldn't reach me back then, or to keep it about, there's times even now where I have those moments where I have to just kind of isolate myself. And my peoples know if they're trying to reach me and I'm not hitting back, it's probably one of those moments, or I'm just busy doing one of the things that I have on my plate. Um,
It's
but
so important, man, for people to just take time out for themselves, yo, and
yeah,
just gather themselves.
yeah,
Because when you a lot of people can lose sight of themselves from living this life and all the obligations that they have, even somewhat like even some distractions and everything. It makes you literally lose sight of yourself. And then once you realize that you're that person that's still there, like, you know what I mean, a lot of things can hit you at once. But self-care is, like, to me, is like the most important thing, because I feel as though if you if you're not able to take care of yourself, you're not able to take care of nobody. So you have to always make sure you're right before you help anybody else out, man. It's like, it's only right. If not,
and
you're gonna run yourself into
that is the
a corner.
realization I had to come to, man. That the things that I had going on and the people that were dependent on me and the people that I wanted to help, I won't be able to take care of any of those things if I wasn't right. And that actually, now I remember, because we definitely went off on a tangent, but that actually reminds me we got to that point. You were talking about, or you were asking, about my journey with the media field. And as I went through college and I saw, how the money really wasn't in journalism like that anymore, unless you were at like the upper echelon level, like a Charlemagne or a Ebro or, Rob Markman or somebody like that.
Yeah,
Unless you were at that level, or like Scotty Beam or somebody like that, then you wasn't going to be making any real money. And those people had to grind for years to get to the point where they're at. And it was a lot different back then because, the game wasn't as, media focused, as digital focused. But me looking at that and knowing, my situation with my family and the people that were dependent on me, I just, made the decision to get out of the media field at one point, because I felt like I told myself I wasn't going to make any enough money to support my family and do what I wanted to do and live the lifestyle that I wanted to live. But that part was valid, but also it was more about me and my self-worth and me feeling like I wasn't good enough to get to that upper echelon level. And
because
now,
the one thing that I don't mean to cut you off, that I was gonna bring up is
no, this is
just
your
that.
show. Go ahead.
But it's just, that's like, I talk about this all the time too. But it's just like, when you accept like a limited belief in yourself and you really hold on to that, man, it could hold you back from doing a lot of the things that you truly want to do. And the one thing that I want to teach people is just how to like freely think. Because what happens with a lot of people is just that they carry that personal legend or that dream that they have with them for such a long time. And the older that they get, you got more and more people telling you why it won't work. And then after that, you just start to think like, yo, this probably won't work. I'm probably wasting my time. You know what I mean? Why am I even still doing this? And that's the scary thing about life, yo. For real. It's just like, you don't know if something is going to work a lot, or not, like, no matter what.
Hmm.
But that's the cool part as well, because you can literally be the deciding factor on that happening. You know what I mean? It's just all in your belief system. You feel me? And it's
Yep.
just like a lot of us accept like a lot of limited beliefs that we truly don't have to accept. You know what I'm saying? And I know, like, for you, you probably reached the moment where you're just like, I could actually do this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna count myself out too early.
Literally, 2021 was my year of that moment that you just described, because you know when the world shut down and we were kind of forced to slow down. um I call it slow down to speed up, because me slowing down, it allowed me to take inventory of all of these things and, realize, why am I not in my field that I went to school for? Why am I not doing what I want to do? Why am I not having the successes that I want to have? And I had to realize that, while the things that I internalized and the, excuses that I gave myself, they were valid to a certain point, but not valid enough to keep me from going where I wanted to go. And it all came down to my self-image and my belief in myself to be able to get there. And me being scared of being stuck in that grind zone for the rest of my life and wasting time and not ever getting to that upper echelon. But I had to realize that, for one, I had to realize the God that I serve and realize that he didn't give me the dreams that I have and the things that I wanted to do. He didn't give them to me for nothing. And it all goes back to living in my purpose, because he puts certain, desires in your heart and certain goals in your mind, because that's what your purpose is and that's what you're supposed to be doing. And excuse me, I told myself that at one point I told myself that my purpose was just helping people. So, and I told myself that that could take a variety of different forms, which is true. So I got into the banking field because I figured, it'll be beneficial for me because I'll be learning about how money works and, learn things that they don't teach you in school, that you wouldn't otherwise have access to this information unless you're in the banking field,
Right.
which is true. So I'll definitely always be grateful for my experience in banking for that. And, it's stable money and helping people with their finances. If you can do that, you can really change the trajectory of somebody's life, which I've definitely been blessed to do. And I'm still in the banking field currently, but now I know that it's just a placeholder or a means to an end to help fund the dream. And it's not the ultimate destination, because I had to have a conversation with one of those good friends that I made at Wesley, one of my best friends, Shaylin, and she broke it down to me that your purpose is never for other people. Your purpose is always going to be about helping others, because that's, what God designed your purpose for. But to say that it's just helping people and stop there, you're selling yourself short, you're selling God short, and it's a cop out. So you need to go deeper and really examine over the whole span of your life what your interests are that have persisted through your whole life, what you're passionate about and what you love doing, because all those things tie into what your purpose ultimately is. And I'm always going to be thankful for for her friendship and for that. And I always tell people, if you have real friends like that that tell you what you need to hear, not necessarily what you want to hear, definitely keep those people around, because those conversations might not always be fun, but they're definitely